Benvenuti a Coffee Break Italian.
Welcome to the Coffee Break Italian Show. Io sono Mark.
E io sono Maurizio.
Come stai, Maurizio?
Molto bene. E tu, Mark?
Benissimo oggi, grazie.
Ottimo.
In these weekly episodes, we're helping you build your Italian skills one coffee break at a time.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. And if you're listening to us on any streaming platform, please subscribe to the podcast feed.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Exactly. So what's the topic of today's episode, Mark?
Okay, so today's episode, we are focusing on the verb avere, to have, but we're looking at avere expressions.
Okay. Interesting.
Siamo pronti?
Io sono pronto, tu?
Prontissimo.
Cominciamo.
So Maurizio, I said we're looking at avere expressions. These are these expressions where we use avere in Italian, but very often we don't use to have in English.
Yes. So in Italian, we have a set of expressions that in English you would rather use to be, to basically say the same thing.
Yeah.
But in Italian, as you were saying, we use the verb to have, avere.
To begin with, I think we should just do a quick review of how to conjugate avere in the present tense.
Yes.
So quickly, it would be ho, hai, ha, abbiamo, avete, hanno.
Molto bene.
Beautifully coordinated there. If you're not watching the video version, you're missing out on these wonderful hand signals. So that's avere in the present tense, but you said we use it to translate to be sometimes.
Yes. So for example, one of the first things that you learn in a language is to express your age. In English, you say, I am 43, but in Italian, that's not my age. But in Italian...
I wish it was my age.
In Italian, we would use avere. So you would say, io ho 43 anni.
Ho 43 anni. We'll leave a little space for you to repeat there as well. So, ho 43 anni. Benissimo.
Very good. So one of these expressions that use avere is avere number anni.
Anni. And we can use that also in the question, how old are you? How many years do you have?
Quanti anni hai?
Quanti anni hai? How many years do you have? Okay.
Correct. Or another expression is, for example, to be hot or to be cold. In Italian, we use avere freddo, if you're cold, or avere caldo, if you're hot.
So literally, to have cold or to have heat.
Exactly.
Okay, avere freddo, avere caldo. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, Martino ha freddo, mentre Arianna ha caldo.
So Martino is cold, literally has cold, mentre Arianna ha caldo, while Arianna is hot or while she is feeling hot.
Exactly, that's correct. Now, another set of expressions that use avere instead of essere, as you would expect if you translate them literally from English into Italian, is to be hungry and to be thirsty. So in this case, in Italian, we're going to say to have thirst and to have hunger.
So to have thirst would be?
Avere sete.
So if I wanted to say I'm thirsty, ho sete.
Giusto, esatto.
And to be hungry?
That's avere fame.
So fame, the word for hunger. Avere fame, ho fame, I am hungry.
Giusto.
Hai fame?
Hai fame? Io ho fame, sempre. Sempre fame.
I'll let you into a secret. Maurizio makes a wonderful focaccia.
Yes.
So if you're ever hungry, just think Maurizio's focaccia.
Won many contests, baking contests here in the office.
So that's avere fame, avere sete.
We can also say avere sonno.
Ah, yeah.
So when you're sleepy, you're saying io ho sonno. So I can ask you, Mark, hai sonno?
Ho quasi sempre sonno. I always feel tired. Okay.
And then...
Sorry, just before we move on there, because we've got avere sonno, but you can say sono stanco.
You can say that.
So I would say sono stanco e ho sonno.
Esatto.
So I'm tired and I'm feeling sleepy. I'm sleepy.
Yes. So you can also avere sonno if you eat too much. You know.
Oh, there's that wonderful word.
Abbiocco. And in that case, we also say avere l'abbiocco.
So that's when you are tired, when you've eaten so much.
Exactly. So hai sonno perché hai mangiato tanto. You're sleepy because you've eaten too much.
Esatto. Okay, anything else to add to this list of avere expressions?
Well, there are many other ones. For example, we can say avere pazienza, to be patient, or avere ragione o torto, when you're discussing if you're right, avere ragione, or if you're wrong, avere torto.
Yeah.
Avere fretta, if you're in a hurry. Avere paura, if you're scared of something.
So let's go through these ones again. We've got to be right.
Avere ragione.
So, for example, Paola ha ragione. Paola's right.
Sì.
Ma Maurizio ha torto.
Exactly. So, to be wrong, avere torto.
And then you said to be in a hurry.
Yep, that's avere fretta.
Let's have an example.
For example, non ho fretta, possiamo prendere un caffè e parlare.
Benissimo. Okay, so non ho fretta. I am not in a hurry. I literally don't have hurry.
Yes.
Or haste, I suppose.
Yep.
Possiamo prendere un caffè e parlare.
Yep.
We can have a coffee and have a chat.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the last one I mentioned was avere paura, which is always followed by the preposition di, right? So in English you say to be scared of. In Italian it's avere paura di. So for example, avevo paura del buio quando ero un bambino.
Okay, so I was scared of the dark. I literally had a fear of the dark quando ero un bambino, when I was a child.
Correct.
Could I say da bambino there?
You can also say da bambino. Avevo paura del buio da bambino.
Da bambino. Okay, so da incorporates that quando ero un bambino.
Exactly.
Da bambino. A nice little bonus for you there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one other expression I'm wondering about, and that is avere bisogno di fare qualcosa.
Yes. So in that case, we're talking about the verb to need in English. So in Italian is avere bisogno di. So in that case, we are saying to have need of.
Yeah. So far, all the avere expressions we've looked at kind of can be translated by to be in English. But here, avere bisogno di qualcosa is something that we're not going to say to be in English, we're going to say to need in English. So, ho bisogno di quel libro. I need that book for my studies or something like that.
Or ho bisogno di una mano.
I need a hand. Okay. And you can use that figuratively in Italian.
Yeah. If you want someone to help you out, then you can say ho bisogno di una mano.
Di una mano.
Yeah.
Di una mano. Okay. Anything else that comes to mind?
I'm also thinking of avere voglia di. So in that case, we are saying I am feeling like doing something or I want to do something. You're expressing your
desire, your wish to do something.
Yeah.
So la voglia is the word for desire. It's got one of those l sounds in there. La voglia.
La voglia.
Ho voglia di andare in discoteca.
Exactly. I want to go to a nightclub. Or you can also say ho voglia di un gelato.
Yeah, so there you're using it with a noun rather than a verb. If it's the verb, you would use an infinitive after the di. If it's a noun, just straight in with the noun. So ho voglia di un gelato. Ho sempre voglia di un gelato.
Giusto, anch'io ho sempre voglia di un gelato.
E poi l'abbiocco.
E poi l'abbiocco, certo.
Allora, Maurizio, in questo episodio abbiamo parlato di avere. We've been talking about avere, and these are avere expressions where avere, first of all, can be translated as to be, even though it really means to have.
Sì.
And also these other ones like avere bisogno di, to need, avere voglia di, to want or to desire or to have a notion for something.
Esatto.
Okay. Now, if you would like to see all of the expressions that we've covered in this episode in a written form, then we've got a blog article available for you, and you can find the link for that in the description of this lesson.
And if you'd like more help with your Italian, you can subscribe to our mailing list to receive regular free email lessons. You can just visit coffeebreaklanguages.com/Italian.
Perfetto. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, look out for that next mini lesson coming your way in your inbox if you've signed up for our free lessons. Ma è tutto per oggi?
È tutto per oggi, Mark.
Ho voglia di un gelato adesso.
Io ho voglia della mia focaccia.
Ah, ok, va bene. Allora, alla prossima. Ciao ciao.
Ciao, happy coffee breaking.
You have been listening to a Coffee Break Languages production for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2023 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2023 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.